Since the release of Time Clock Plus V7, we've continued to provide regular updates to our solutions, both to enhance the existing features and add new ones. And today, we're extremely excited to introduce to you the latest feature of Time Clock Plus V7, Mass Hours. As a part of the Mass Hours update, we also wanted to give you a quick tour of this new feature and show you where a couple of other things have moved around. First, there were a few changes to group hours to help increase performance and save you time while editing segments. Mass adding and deleting of shift segments, as well as the mass processing of shift segments for modules such as shift differential, has moved over to the new Mass Hours feature. However, group hours will still be your home for approving shift segments in mass, and you'll still be able to add and delete segments for individual employees. Now, let's take a look at Mass Hours by selecting it from under the Hours menu. The first time you open Mass Hours, you'll see a message that includes a link to this video, as well as a notice. This is an incredibly powerful tool and should only be used with extreme caution. To edit employee hours, first select the employees that you want to edit from the list. You can also make your selection using an employee filter or a work filter that will allow you to find employees based on what they worked on a specific date or date range, or by the job code worked during that time. Once you have your employees selected, you'll have 4 operations to choose from: add hours, edit hours, delete hours, or processing. Adding hours works just like it did in group hours. First, create your segment and then continue to the summary screen. From here, you can preview to see any exceptions that would keep you from adding the hours. When ready, click Process to have the system create those segments. Now, if you take a look back at group hours, you'll see where the hours were added. Mass Hours also allows you to edit multiple shift segments at the same time. Previously in group hours, we would have to edit each and every segment one at a time, and each time group hours would have to reprocess the list of segments. Now with Mass Hours, you're able to edit segments based on criteria like job code worked, cost code worked, type of segment, or the time that the segment occupies. We can then specify the edits we would like to make and continue on to the summary screen. Again, you can preview to check if there are any exceptions, and then click Process to make those changes. Next, let's look at processing. This allows you to process the segments during a specified date range for modules such as shift differential. Before this update, we could only process a total of 100 segments or 1 page for group hours at a time. Now, we can set a date or date range and process all segments that fall within that range in one fell swoop. On the summary screen, we can again preview to ensure that there are no exceptions, and then click Process to finalize the changes. And if I jump back over to group hours, I can confirm that the segments have now been processed. Finally, let's check out deleting hours. Much like hours processing, we can only delete up to a maximum of 100 segments at a time before this update. Now with Mass Hours, we can set criteria for the segments we would like to delete, just as we did with the Edit Hours feature. When we process from this feature, it will delete all of the segments that match the criteria given. Make sure to use caution when utilizing this part of Mass Hours, because once those hours have been deleted, they cannot be recovered. Keep in mind that Mass Hours is only accessible with the proper user permissions enabled, which you can find in the User Permissions list under Manager, Hours, Mass Hours. If you have users or user roles that should not have access to this tool, then simply leave those options unchecked. Adding Mass Hours to your workflow is just the latest way that Time Clock Plus V7 can help increase your productivity, save money, and help you get your time back. If you have any questions about this feature or others, make sure to give us a call, shoot us an email, or chat in with one of our expert support technicians who will be happy to help. Time Clock Plus, a better sense of time.